Today is Friday, September 6th. This is Noreen Johnson, and here are the good news headlines of the day. First son Hunter Biden released a statement Thursday after he pleaded guilty to 9 federal tax charges, saying that he did it to spare his family from being publicly humiliated by a trial. Special counsel David Weiss charged President Biden's son with 3 felonies and 6 misdemeanors concerning the $1.4 million in owed taxes that have since been paid. In the indictment, Weiss alleged that Hunter engaged in a 4-year scheme to not pay for tax years 2016 through 2019 from in or about January 2017 through in or about October 15th of 2020, and to evade the assessment of taxes for tax year 2018 when he filed false returns in or about February 2020. Hunter remains free on bond until the sentencing date on December 16th. A spokesman for J.D. Vance blasted the Associated Press for publishing a headline Thursday that implied the Republican vice presidential candidate had dismissed school shootings as a, quote, fact of life. In an exclusive comment to Fox News Digital, Vance spokesperson William Martin attacked the AP, saying this: "This is yet another case of the fake news media brazenly lying about a Republican politician." Senator Vance said exactly the opposite of what the Associated Press claimed. It should come as no surprise that the AP lost any and all credibility it had years ago, because they will lie about literally anything in order to prop up the Democrats. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris has called for all police officers to be removed from schools, putting children all over America at risk. It's yet another example of how Kamala Harris's weak, failed, and dangerously liberal agenda makes her unfit for office. And then this: a Wake County judge has ruled against Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s attempt to be removed from North Carolina presidential ballots, finding that the harm Kennedy would suffer would be small compared to that facing the State Board of Elections, although the judge granted Kennedy a 24-hour stay to appeal. Last week, the North Carolina State Board of Elections decided in a vote at an emergency meeting on August 29th to reject a request from the We the People Party to remove Kennedy, its nominee, from the general election ballot. In its decision, the board said it would be impractical to reprint ballots by the September 6th deadline for mailing the first absentee ballots, while also noting the additional costs involved in reprinting. But meanwhile, Kennedy's attorney argued in court that Kennedy had followed state law by presenting a written request to step down as a candidate, and that forcing him to remain on the ballot violated his free speech rights. And then in other news, America First Legal filed a lawsuit today against all 15 Arizona counties for failing to remove illegal immigrants from the state voters' rolls. The conservative legal organization initially told the counties in July that it would take legal action if they failed to remove illegal immigrants from the voter rolls, but now America First Legal said that the counties have failed in their obligation to safeguard the election. America First Legal President Stephen Miller said this: "We are taking emergency action to secure our elections. In addition to Maricopa, we are now suing 14 additional counties in Arizona for refusing to remove illegal aliens and non-citizens from their voter rolls. America First Legal will do everything in its power to fight mass illegal alien voting and foreign interference in our democracy." And then this: a parish priest in France was able to rescue the Blessed Sacrament and some 20 other religious artifacts, including the reliquary bust of St. Cornell, after his church was set ablaze by an arsonist on the night of September 2nd. The historic Church of the Immaculate Conception in St. Omer in northern France was ravaged by the fire. The suspect, identified as Gaël Vigoros, who has attempted to set fire to numerous places of worship in the past, was apprehended a few hours after the blaze was brought under control. The church's pastor, Father Sebastian Roussel, told CNA that he entered the building once the authorities at the scene said it was safe. In another interview, Father Roussel added that the stained glass windows, particularly the beautiful ones in the choir dedicated to Mary, are not too damaged. And then today, September 6th, marks the feast day of Blessed Thomas Suji. He traveled all over Japan and became known for his eloquent, persuasive preaching. He was burned to death at the stake in 1627 in Nagasaki, Japan, and was beatified by Pope Pius IX in 1867. St. Thomas Suji, pray for us. And those are your daily good news headlines. This is Catholics for Catholics. May God bless you, and may God bless the USA.